Hey everyone, it's time for another deep dive. And you know, we love diving deep into those Italian figures who make a splash all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're taking a closer look at Chef Massimo Bottura.
I like it.
Maybe you've heard of Osteria Francescana?
Of course.
His 3 Michelin-starred restaurant. It's earned the title of World's Best Restaurant twice.
Not just once, but twice.
And it's the first Italian restaurant to ever do that.
Incredible.
But today we want to get to know the man behind all that success.
Yeah, beyond those awards, his story is just so inspiring. He's a true culinary rock star.
So let's rewind a bit. Massimo Bottura grew up in Modena, Italy. But get this, he actually started out in law school.
It's true.
What made him make such a big change?
Well, he was in law school, but he just found himself drawn to the kitchen. Like he was just captivated by it all. So in 1989, he makes this bold move. He buys a Trattoria del Campazzo.
Wow.
Much to his father's disappointment.
Really?
Yeah, his dad wanted him to join the family business.
Oh, so what was their business?
Petroleum.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going against the family grain here.
He really is.
That's got to cause some tension at home.
For sure.
But at least he had his mother on his side.
Right. Luisa Bottura was so supportive, really encouraged her son to go after those culinary dreams.
It's amazing how these early influences, whether it's family pushing back or being supportive,
Yeah,
they really shape a person's path.
for sure. And for Bottura, there was another important figure, Lydia Gristoni. She was a res d'ora.
A res d'ora?
Yeah, that's that traditional figure in the kitchen.
Okay.
The one who holds all the secrets to authentic Modenese cuisine. She was like his culinary mentor.
Oh, wow.
Really instilled in him this deep respect for all those traditional recipes and techniques.
That's so cool. So he has this foundation in tradition, but then he goes on to train with these big names in the culinary world, like Georges Cogni.
Yes, a pioneer of Nouvelle Cuisine right there in Emilia-Romagna.
And then he trains with Alain Ducasse at Le Louis X5 and Monte Carlo.
Yeah, I know, it's like training with the best of the best.
So how did all these experiences shape his unique approach to food?
They were crucial, He was exposed to all these different culinary philosophies and techniques. Cogni introduced him to the world of Nouvelle Cuisine, which was all about lighter and more delicate dishes. And then working with Ducasse, well, that's like getting a culinary masterclass, right?
Right.
It wasn't just about learning new techniques. It was about understanding the art and the philosophy behind them, Pushing boundaries, but also respecting the ingredients.
Wow, so it sounds like it was a whirlwind of learning for him.
Oh, for sure.
But then he travels to New York in 1993, and that's where things get interesting.
Yes. He meets his future wife, Lara Gilmore. It was like a whirlwind romance.
Tell me more.
So he's working at this Italian cafe, and Lara starts working there as a waitress. It was pretty much love at first sight.
Wow.
9 months later, he goes back to Modena, but they can't stay apart. He calls her, invites her over. Within a year, they're married, and they open Osteria Francescana together.
Wow, that's quite a leap of faith.
It really is. 1995, Osteria Francescana is born.
Now, opening a restaurant in Modena, a city so rooted in culinary tradition, I imagine that wasn't easy, especially with Bottura's modern take on those classic dishes.
You're telling me?
Yeah.
Can you imagine serving a 6 tortellini dish in the tortellini capital of the world?
Woo, that's bold.
Some locals felt like he was betraying their culinary heritage. He was even labeled a traitor to Italian cuisine.
Oh my goodness.
They weren't ready for his deconstructed lasagna or his 5 ages of Parmigiano Reggiano. It was a real clash between honoring tradition and, daring to innovate.
I bet that must have been really discouraging for him. So how did he deal with that pushback?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. He finds inspiration in a pretty unexpected place, the art world.
The art world.
Specifically, the work of Maurizio Cattelan.
Wait, you mean the artist known for those bold, sometimes even shocking installations?
The one and only.
What does that have to do with food?
Well, that's the beauty of Bottura's mind. He sees connections where others don't. Seeing Cattelan's work, it was like this epiphany for him. He realized that challenging conventions, even provoking reaction, it could be a powerful way to push boundaries and ultimately to elevate tradition by reimagining it.
So he's basically saying tradition isn't static.
Great. He said tradition is not static, it's strongly connected to evolution.
So instead of backing down, he embraces this unconventional approach, drawing parallels between art and cuisine.
Exactly. Yeah, he really saw food as this art form, like a painting or a sculpture. And it wasn't just about how the food looked, it was about using those artistic principles to make the whole dining experience better.
I'm really curious now, what does this look like on a plate? Can you give us some examples of his dishes?
Oh, so many. Like the crunchy part of the lasagna.
Okay.
It's like he takes this classic dish and deconstructs it and focuses on what we all love the most, you know.
Those crispy edges.
Exactly. And he turns it into this art form. It really makes you think about lasagna in a whole new way.
It's so clever. It's like he's taking those childhood food memories and turning them into this gourmet experience.
Exactly. And then there's 5 ages of Parmigiano Reggiano.
Okay, I've heard this one.
Yeah, he presents Parmigiano Reggiano in like 5 different textures, each representing a different stage in the cheese's aging process.
Oh, wow. So it's like a journey through the essence of Parmigiano.
You got it. You get to experience all those subtle flavor changes as it ages.
Yeah. So how does he actually present it?
Oh, it's amazing. He has it as a mousse, a crumble puff foam, a crisp, and then a traditional chunk.
Oh, wow.
It's this explosion of textures and temperatures, all showcasing the amazing versatility of Parmigiano Reggiano.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. What else?
Oh, there's an eel swimming up the Co River.
Now that one sounds intriguing.
It's a beautiful dish, and it's actually inspired by one of Bottura's childhood memories. You see, he remembers watching eels swimming in the Po River as a kid. And so the dish is like a visual representation of that memory. Like he artfully arranges the eel on the plate and surrounds it with ingredients that represent all the different regions the eel passes through on its journey.
Oh, wow. So it's like a culinary travelogue.
Yeah, exactly.
I also read that he creates dishes inspired by actual works of art, right?
Yeah.
Like, didn't he make something based on a Lucio Fontana painting?
He did. Tutte le Langue del Mondo is a direct tribute to Fontana's slashed canvases. It's made with all these different colored sauces, each representing a different language and culture of the world.
Oh, that's so cool. So he's really connecting food and art in this really powerful way. And I know he's been inspired by Damien Hirst and Picasso too.
Oh yeah, Bottura sees art everywhere, and he's always trying to find new ways to express those artistic ideas through food. In fact, his latest menu, with a little help from my friends, is a tribute to the Beatles.
You're kidding. A Beatles-inspired tasting menu? That's amazing. I can't even imagine how he does that.
It just shows how creative he is and how he can find inspiration in anything. Each dish is like a culinary interpretation of a Beatles song.
It must be like a concert for your taste buds.
Exactly.
Right. So Osteria Francescana is officially on my bucket list.
Yeah.
But with all this artistry and innovation, he's still really connected to his Italian roots, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He's a huge champion of Italian culinary traditions and the producers who keep them alive.
Yeah.
He's even got his own line of balsamic vinegar and extra virgin olive oil through Villa Manodori.
Oh, wow.
It's like he's created this whole ecosystem of excellence, all celebrating the best that Italy has to offer. And he's got this great relationship with his cheese supplier, Umberto. He makes some of the best Parmigiano Reggiano you'll ever taste.
So he's not just a chef. He's like a curator of Italian culinary heritage.
That's a perfect way to put it. He's so passionate about preserving those traditions and making sure they continue for generations to come. And that commitment goes beyond just ingredients too, you know?
Yeah.
It's about giving back and using food to make the world a better place.
And that's where his nonprofit Food for Soul comes in.
Right.
This is where we really see Massimo Bottura's big heart.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us more about Food for Soul?
So Food for Soul is more than just a charity. It's really a movement, a whole philosophy based on Bottura's belief that everyone deserves good food. He talks about how his grandmother used to save breadcrumbs and use every scrap in the kitchen. That respect for food and its power to nourish and connect people, that's at the core of Food for Soul.
Such a powerful idea that something as simple as food can have such a profound impact.
Yeah.
So how did it all start?
It all began with Refettorio Ambrosiano in Milan. It's a soup kitchen, but not your typical soup kitchen. During the 2015 Milan Expo, Bottura saw this opportunity to address food waste and also help those in need at the same time.
Yeah.
So he brought together these world-renowned chefs to create these amazing meals for the homeless using surplus ingredients that would have been thrown away otherwise.
So he's taking something that would normally be discarded and turning it into something beautiful and nourishing.
Exactly. And it's not just about the food, it's about creating this welcoming and dignified space, a sense of community where people can come together and share a meal. Refettorio Ambrosiano and all the other refettorios that have popped up around the world, they're places of hope and connection.
Now, you know his wife Laura is a big part of this too.
Oh yeah, she plays a key role. in Food for Soul. She's really passionate about the mission, and she's helped expand it globally.
It's so inspiring to see them working together to make a difference.
It shows that even small actions can have a big impact. Like maybe we can all be more mindful about food waste at home or support organizations that are fighting hunger. We can all be part of building a better food system.
Right. And speaking of connection and community, what about that online cooking series he did during the pandemic with his daughter Alexa, Kitchen Quarantine?
Oh, yeah. That was such a great idea. It was a way to bring families together when everyone was feeling isolated. They turned their kitchen into this virtual hub, sharing recipes and stories with people all over the world. And they were also talking about food waste at home, encouraging people to get creative in the kitchen and use what they have.
I love that. They took this global crisis and turned it into something positive and inspiring. And of course, we can't forget Il Tortellante, that project where he teaches autistic youth how to make and sell tortellini.
Il Tortellante is such a beautiful project. It gives those young people valuable skills and a sense of purpose.
It's so close to his heart, too, because his son Charlie is on the autism spectrum.
It's amazing how he's taken that personal experience and created something so positive and impactful. It really shows his commitment to making the world a better place. And you know, it all goes back to his journey and wanting to prove his father wrong. He wanted to show that following his passion could lead to something truly meaningful.
Yeah, he once said, I think the most important thing in life is to find happiness in what you're doing, in your passions. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it makes your heart beat. That's beautiful. Such a powerful message. It's all about finding that thing that lights you up, makes you feel truly alive and going after it with everything you've got. And Bottura, he's a perfect example of what can happen when you do that, when you combine passion with purpose.
And it's not just about those big accomplishments. It's about the whole journey, the ups and the downs, embracing those imperfections and unexpected turns, because those are the things that really shape us.
So true. I mean, look at his story. It's not just about success in the kitchen. It's about resilience, about using those setbacks to grow. He didn't let those early critics in Modena get him down. He used that resistance to make his vision even stronger, to create something truly groundbreaking.
And through it all, he never lost sight of who he is, He stayed connected to his roots and to his commitment to making a difference in the world. It's pretty inspiring. It shows that success doesn't have to come at the cost of our values or humanity.
Absolutely. He's this global icon, but he's still that passionate young chef from Modena. He's still so connected to his family, his community, his heritage. And speaking of Modena, I hear they're getting ready for a big celebration. Osteria Francescana is turning 30 this year.
Wow, 30 years. Can you believe it?
I know, and the rumors are flying. There's talk of big celebrations, special events, maybe even some brand new projects coming up.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, I heard there might be a new Trattoria opening in Nairobi, Kenya.
Oh, wow.
Imagine the impact he could make, bringing his vision of food and community to a whole new continent.
The possibilities are endless with Bottura. He's always pushing the boundaries. He's a true visionary. He's not just a chef. He's an artist, an activist, a cultural ambassador. He's an inspiration to us all.
So well said. So there you have it, everyone, a peek into the amazing life and work of Massimo Bottura. Hopefully this deep dive has left you feeling inspired, maybe a little bit hungry, and ready to go after your own passions.
Remember, it's not just about the food on your plate. It's about bringing passion to everything you do. Find your own center, like Bottura found his in Modena, and use it to create something meaningful, something that sets your soul on fire.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
Ciao.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next videos.